Hey, what's going on? So you've clicked on this video because obviously you see the title. I sell cars. I'm going to give some pointers on if you have ever thought about selling cars, if you aren't making enough money and you want to start making some more money and you're not sure if going in the car business is going to be the end all be all, if it's going to help you with your finances. So I'm going to kind of break it down, tell you how the pay structure works, and it's different for every dealership, so keep that in mind. I was at two different dealerships within the past year. So I've just hit 1 year of selling cars. There's a police officer right here. See, oh, he's looking at his computer. All right, cool. We're in the clear. I'm on a road trip right now, headed from Houston to Dallas to see our friends. So anyway, I've just had a year selling cars. I've done 6 months. It's like half and half. 6 months at Acura, 6 months at Honda, something like that. So where do I start? When I was at Acura, how the pay plan was structured was unit based. So the minimum cars were 10. If you hit less than 10, then you got what's called a draw. So every dealership has a minimum that they pay you every single month. And in this case, it was $1,500. Now it was $1,500 for Acura, and it's the same thing at Honda, $1,500. I think it's pretty safe to say if you do the bare minimum, you're probably going to get fired. They're gonna probably let you go. So that's just a bare minimum. But if you're doing the bare minimum, you're pretty much out of there. So I started at an Acura dealership, and I did decent. I was getting better and better every month. And anyway, the way the pay structure worked there was if you hit 10 cars, it was the minimum. If you hit 13 cars, you were guaranteed $3,000. I believe that's what it was. I'll have to try and go back in my pictures and see if I can find the exact amount. But regardless, this amount that I'm telling you is kind of irrelevant, but it just gives you an idea of what a unit-based pay plan might look like for the dealership that you want to go to. The numbers are I promise you they're going to be a little bit different. But this is the general concept of a unit-based pay plan. So pretty much 13 cars was, I think 3,000. 16 cars was 5,000 guaranteed. So it doesn't matter if you make any money during the deal. It doesn't matter if you are losing money during the deal. That is what you are guaranteed. So if you hit that unit amount, you're guaranteed that dollar amount. So 16 cars was guaranteed 5,000, and then it just went up in increments. So 16, what was the next one? I think it's 18 was guaranteed of 7,000, and so on. And I think the highest was 25 cars was like 14,000, something like that. That's what you were guaranteed. And when you sell a car at a dealership, you are pretty much there's front end and back end. Front end is if there's any profit in the car, you make a percentage off of that profit. So the two dealerships that the dealership that I was at before and the dealership that I'm at now, you got paid. I think it was 18% on the front end gross profit of the car, so you got paid 18%. The dealership I'm at now is 20%, and then it just kind of the percentage goes up from there the more cars you sell. So it's just kind of the same thing where it's once you hit your units, the percentage goes up. The percentage goes up on the front and in the back. And so what the back end is all the insurance, all the insurance, the warranties, all the protection plans, everything they sell in the back end, you get a cut of that too. I think the Acura store that I was at before was a little bit different. Gosh, it's been a minute, so I kind of forgot the pay plan. But that's the general idea of that specific pay plan. It was unit based, so it didn't matter how much you made. It was all unit based. So I don't really know if people were actually doing this, but I had a feeling once they announced that pay plan, people were just thinking in their heads, "Oh man, I could probably just give the customer a huge discount, and as long as I hit my units by discounting all these cars, like I'm guaranteed this money." But that was the wrong way to look at it, because if you made a lot of gross in every car, it was how they had set it up was either or. So if you made more gross than you did your guaranteed amount for your cars, you would then get the whatever you made for the gross. If you didn't discount the cars, so hypothetically speaking, you sell 5 cars, but you make, we call them pounders, and that's pretty much you're making a bunch of money in the front. So say you sell 5 or 6 cars, and all of those make a lot of money. Like you made, I don't know, you make a lot. You don't discount them. You make just a killing on those 5 to 6 cars. You can get paid more with just those than as if you were to sell 15 to 16 cars and you discounted them a few $1,000s each. So it's a matter of getting with your managers. Once you start working, if you can't choose kind of what car to put them on, get with your managers, because they will be able to kind of guide you and let you know what car that you can put them on. But okay, now here's the thing. Here's the caveat to that, because if they're lower credit people, then what it comes down to is just whatever car that they can get approved on, whatever car that the bank allows them to get. And if they can only finance a certain amount, like say the bank approves them for $15,000, and they're looking at a $20,000 car, well, the bank's going to ask them for $5,000 down to get it to where that total amount financed portion meets that approval requirement. I'm still kind of learning about the whole banking and finance side of things. One thing, when you get into the dealership, if you're first starting out, you wouldn't even worry about any of that stuff. All I would focus on from day one is all it is just getting in front of as many people as you can, and that's it. Even if you talk, so say you talk to 5 to 6 people on like a Saturday, which Saturdays are dealerships' most busy days. Say you talk to 5, 6, 7 people, and hypothetically, you're brand new, so the chances of you actually closing those people are a little bit slim. I mean, sometimes if you tell the customer that you're brand new, that will bring their guard down, and then they won't think that they have a real super pushy sales guy that is trying to sell them a car. They're like, "Oh wow, this guy's new. Okay, cool. He doesn't know what he's doing. So, all right, cool. I'm gonna buy a car from you." So sometimes that can work in your favor, and so sometimes I tell people that I'm very, very new at the dealership that I'm working at, and so sometimes it helps me in my favor. But you can only do that for so long, If the further you go in the process, sometimes they can kind of catch on, like, it seems like he's done this before. But anyway, that's the number one thing I would focus on, honestly, is just getting in front of as many people as you can, because the more people you get in front of, honestly, you can follow up with them during the week. And the more people you have, the more contacts you have and more leads you have, the more likely you are to sell a handful of cars during the week. And the way the car, being a car salesman is kind of set up, and at least in my opinion, is you make your appointments. Obviously, you want to sell your cars during the week, but you want to set up your appointments all for Saturday. Saturdays are their most busy days, especially at my dealership that I work at. There are so many people coming onto the lot on Saturdays, but sometimes if you work on a Saturday, you can get lucky and run into the customers that are truly trying to buy, or you can run into the customers that are like, yeah, I'm like a week out, I'm not trying to buy anything today, just today's my day off, I'm just coming by, I don't have any money, or they're waiting for their like insurance check because they just got in a wreck, and they truly don't have any money and they want to put that down. Now there's ways to overcome it, or there's ways to try to overcome it. That works sometimes, but for the most part, if they're super dead set and it's just like they're not in a spot to put any money down, or the credit's not too good, or they're truly just not ready to buy at all, what I have learned is help them best you can, test drive the vehicles, or if it's a used vehicle, let them know that, look, this vehicle's not going to be here, and I know you said your time frame is like 2 to 3, maybe 4 days out. I don't think this car is going to last too long. I think there's a few appointments on it today, so if we have the car still, I'll let you know. But I mean, look, would you be open to another brand, maybe another trim level, if we have it in stock? And then just kind of feel it out from there. But yeah, if you're brand new, I would just prepare for the long hours. Prepare for bell to bell. You're going to be there all day. Even if you work mornings and you get off at like 5 or 6 and you get a customer at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, you're going to be there. You're going to be there late. You're going to be test driving cars, showing them numbers, negotiating. One pretty popular saying in the car business is stickers quicker. So sometimes I tell people that if they come in and tell me like, hey, I'm in a rush to get out of here, I'm like, all right, stickers quicker. Just kind of jokingly, but they will ask for a discount, and you have to be prepared. Some things that my kids are falling asleep. There's this little girl. My wife is sleeping. My daughter's sleeping. Perfect time to make this video. Handful of things to learn. When you first start out, for the first 3 to 4 months, to be completely honest with you, it is going to feel like everyone's going to be running around the dealership doing stuff, and you're going to be looking at them like, what in the world is going on? I have no idea like what to even do. But once you get like a month in, 2 months in, what I made a mistake of doing at first was I finish all my tests, because you have to get certified. Whatever brand you're going with, you have to do your test. That probably takes 2 days, 3 days. What my mistake was the dealership that I was working at first had these had your desks like in the back room, so like little tiny cubicles. It was kind of felt like a prison back there. I mean, you couldn't see the floor, you couldn't see who was pulling up, you couldn't see anything. It was just like kind of a back room with a bunch of cubicles. Yeah, I don't know. I made my phone calls, because that's like one of the requirements at most dealerships is you have to make a certain amount of phone calls. I made my phone calls. I just sat back there and tried to get appointments from the phone calls. Big mistake. Look, you're gonna want to do the requirements of phone calls. The dealership that I'm at now, their requirements are a little bit different than the dealership I was at before. The one I was at before, and this is kind of how it is in most dealerships, is their rule at the time was like 25 to 30 calls, something like that, and they could see it on your log if you've made it like on the system. So 25 calls minimum in order to earn the right to go outside and take a walk in. We call them fresh ups. So you can only take a fresh up if you've made your calls, and that's it. And so that was their rule. The dealership I'm at now is a lot different. It's a lot better. If you get a customer, they're not going to give your customer away just because you haven't made your calls. I mean, they want you still. If you can't make it at your If you can't make your calls, then they still want you to do it within the day, at least. But you can still get a customer. The dealership I was at before, if you had a customer and you haven't made your calls, nope, customer goes away. Sorry, that's it. Even if you open, like the dealership opened at 9, we all got there at 9 o'clock. Okay, say customer walks in, and you start helping the customer. Have you made your calls? No. Take your customer away. So that was just one of those things where, like, dude, I got bills to pay, bro. Like, I want to take every customer I can, and it kind of seemed like only the favorites would, they would let it slide, but that was one of the rules, where if you didn't make your calls, you were not allowed to take a fresh up. It didn't matter what time of the day it was. So that was a rule set in stone, and sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes, from my viewpoint, it almost seemed like the favorites got to slide with that. Even if they made 2 phone calls during the day, when the minimum requirement was 25 or 30 or whatever, they would still be like, oh yeah, take the customer, you can work it, and then disregard the rule whatsoever. And then if they had a salesman come in that maybe didn't favor too much or something like that, they would say, hey, did you make your phone calls? No, you didn't make your phone calls? All right, well, we're going to go ahead and have a so-and-so take over the customer. Just make sure you go in the back and finish your phone calls. And then they would take the customer away. Not fair. The one of mine now is a little bit more lenient, a little bit more fair when it comes to dealing with that. They still have every dealership is going to have their rules, but you're going to want to make sure to follow the rules when it comes to, like, doing the requirements that the management is asking of you in order to sell as many cars as they can. Now look, these rules that these dealerships have in place in order, like with the phone calls, and when it comes to, like, stealing people's deals and, like, who talked to the customer first, this and that, whatever, they set it up to make it as fair as possible. And their ultimate goal, you have to remember, is to make as much money as possible and to sell as many cars as they can. So they're going to set it up so that maybe sometimes, maybe in your mind, it doesn't seem quite fair, but in the management's eyes, they're all, and you too, the main goal is to sell as many cars as you can. And what you're going to want to do is just make sure you've talked to that customer first. And that's where it circles back to, like, just make sure you talk to as many people as you can. The more people you talk to, the more cars you'll sell. And so you will work a lot of hours. I have a 1-year-old in his car seat right behind me. I have a 3-year-old literally just right outside of the frame right there, and have my wife right next to me. It is a Sunday. We have every Sunday we have off. It might be different for your dealership, but we have Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. It was one of my scheduled days to work, but I requested it off, and then I have 2 days. Normally have 2 days off, Tuesdays off. But I went ahead and requested Monday and Tuesday off. So driving 4 hours away, gonna see our friends, gonna stay over there, have a good time, do a little mini vacation. My wife doesn't feel too good, so I think it'll be all right. It just snowed in Dallas, so I think all this snow is melted. I don't see any snow. I see Dallas right here, right in front of me. But anyway, look, if you're getting into car sales, I think it's an extremely, like, you'll learn so much about negotiating, talking to customers, different word tracks. You'll learn, it's a totally different skill set. I used to work at T-Mobile, and the type of it's still sales. You want to pitch, and you want to position it in a way where it seems beneficial for the customer. And it was a lot different. I think T-Mobile had a lot of product knowledge training, And yeah, T-Mobile had a lot of product knowledge training, where with car sales, it is a lot of like how to position different, like what to say if the customer says this, if the customer says, oh, is that your best price, which I can go over just what my advice would be, like my word tracks and stuff that I use. Like I just have them completely memorized. So the second someone says any objection, anything, boom, you have to be confident with whatever you say, even if like in the moment they have an objection and you're kind of new and you're not sure what to say. Whatever comes out of your mouth, in order to sell that car, you're gonna have to sound extremely confident. Whatever comes out of your mouth, even in the moment, if you're like, dude, I have no idea if this is true or not, there's either one of two things you can do. You can tell them whatever's coming out of your mouth and just make it sound like the truth and just kind of roll with it, and then move on and change the subject. Or, which I don't typically do that, if I truly don't know something, maybe I'll just tell them like, that's actually the first time I actually ran into this. Hold on, let me, because I've been at this dealership for about 6-7 months now, so it's not like I've been here 20 years, you know what I mean? So there's still certain like nuances, different little tiny things about these cars that maybe it was in the training, but it was probably like a minute long, and the training's long, and so sometimes it can be hard to remember that kind of small thing. So if they bring it up, let's be honest with them. Say, look, I'm a little bit newer. I actually, and I'll straight up tell them like, yo, I remember this in the training, but hold on, I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. So let me look it up really quick. I'm pretty sure it's this, but hold on, 1 second. And then I'll look it up, and it's kind of like the customer and me, we're learning together. And I promise you, 100% of the time, like they don't care. As long as they get the info, they don't really care. They care if you're honest. And to me, when I'm coming across to my customer like that, it's completely honest. So honesty. You want to be ethical about it. You will see a lot of unethical things. You'll see a lot of things. And you will see that people will snake your deals from you, and it's not fair. Even if it happens when you're new a lot, where if you kind of don't want your back, then someone can easily take the deal from you. So first step, learn the system. Because if you talk to a customer, I'm trying to get over here. Yeah, if you talk to a customer, say out on the lot, and you go inside and you're talking to them, you're showing them the numbers, you're doing this, you're doing that, or even if you don't bring them inside for whatever reason, you just can't get them to come inside, they're not ready to buy, they're just looking, you give them your card, everything, you've been with them for like an hour, you have really good, let me make sure my camera's good. Yeah, it's good to go. We're still rolling. I'm about done with this video, by the way. So anyway, my last step is make sure you put them in the system. Make sure you put them in the system. Because if you don't put them in the system, you just lost a deal. That's it. They can come back in, and even if they have your card, they're like, hey, I'm here to see so-and-so. Whoever helps them, they just might. If they're not cool with you, they just might tell the customer, oh yeah, cool, I don't know if he's here today. Or like, he's a little bit newer, he's learning. Here, let me go ahead and just check you in over here. They will sit them down at their desk. Oh, I was supposed to turn down that. Let me see if I can turn down this road. Just keep going straight. They will sit them down at their desk, and they will take your customer. They will look their phone number up in the CRM and put their name under the customer's name. They will put the customer's name, like they'll match it up with their own name. That's why if you get at least their first name, last name, and phone number, you can put them in the system. so that if they come back and that happens, that salesperson that pulls it up in the system will see like, oh, he's been helping them. And typically the rule of thumb is, at least this is what is at my dealership, is 48 hours. If it has been 48 hours of two-way communication, then it's your half deal. If it's past 48 hours and you haven't followed up, even if you have been texting them but you didn't put notes in the system, that's their deal, because there's no proof of you even talking to them. You can show them all the text messages in the world on your cell phone, but if it's not in the system, it never existed in their eyes. So put it in the system, put the name in the system, and you won't lose your deals and you'll make money. Sell as many cars as you can. That's the number one advice I can give you, is if you are going into it, you're going to be working bell to bell. You're going to be working a lot all day. It's going to be hard work. But literally, just the more people you get in front of, the more cars you'll sell. And I wouldn't even worry about gross or how much is this making, how much is this making. Sell as many cars as you can. Sell as many cars as you can. And always check in with the managers. See if they have any phone ups that they've received. Maybe you can help them out. Check with everyone. Go to the service department and go to the service advisors and be like, hey, is there anyone here in service right now that's, the car has high miles on it, and maybe they have a high service bill, they're getting something repaired, and they potentially might want to purchase a new vehicle. And then do that every day, and then they'll tell you, the customers, like, yeah, that guy right there, over there, Johnny, man, his car's got 200,000 miles on it, and he's in for like an alternator, and it's gonna cost him $2,000. Instead of paying for the alternator, he can pay for the down payment. I'm sure little Johnny doesn't want to put $2,000 down to fix his alternator, so I am talking quiet because this whole car is sleeping. Oh my gosh, my little girl. Her head is like, gotta put her seat back, but whatever. That's my advice. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. I might make another video about it if there's enough questions. I don't know everything in the world. Look, I'm still new with this. I've been selling cars for a year, but you'll come to learn that once you start, and the longer you sell cars for, the more you'll learn. And when you have managers take a turn for you and talk to the customer, you'll hear the manager say something, and you're like, oh wow, like that was good, and you'll remember it, and then you will use it on your customer next time instead of having to get your manager to come over. So just different things like that, you'll learn what other people say, and then you'll remember it. So it's like a memory log of just word tracks that you will remember. At first, you will not know anything, but the more and more you do it, and the more you hear other people talk to customers, and you hear them say something where it has the customer go, oh, okay, cool. I mean, that makes sense. Cool. What do I sign? Then you're gonna be like, wow, dude. Like, all right, cool. Let me remember that. It comes with time. It does come with time. I'd say about 6 months. I'd say probably about 6 months is where you'll kind of start to catch on to things. You'll start talking to people, getting more leads. If you want to hear more stories like this, more advice like this, I have customer stories too that are pretty entertaining as well. I mean, I'm kind of oh, is that really? I gotta make a U-turn? Alright, I'm gonna end this video here. If you have any advice on like what you want me to talk about, I'm here for it. Leave it in the comment section below. I'll get to your questions. And more videos to come. This might be a part 1. I could keep talking about this, giving you all the advice I can. And so I'm not gonna make you pay for any course or anything like that. I'm just all the word tracks. I can go over a whole video of different different objections, different word tracks. I've watched a lot of Andy Elliott, but like he says, you got to put your own spin on it. You can't I'm more of like a calm guy, Andy Elliott's like he's hyped up, He's got a lot of energy. He's excited. He's excited about life, which I am excited about life. at the same time, I just have a little bit of a different personality. So we take his word tracks and just put your own spin on it, say it your own way. But as long as it gets that same message portrayed, you get the same message across. Some of them I've actually memorized word for word. So anyway, leave your comment below. If you want to hear more content like this, subscribe. It helps me out. This channel is brand new, and my ultimate goal, to be completely transparent, I want to get monetized on this channel as fast as I can. So I'm posting every day, 20-minute videos every day of just me talking, giving you advice, whether it comes to car sales, just life advice. I got 2 kids, so I can give advice on like raising kids, work-life balance. There is no work-life balance with selling cars, and so yeah, you'll be at work pretty much all the time. You will get 1 day off a week, and then you'll get Sundays off. So that's pretty much it. I will see you guys in the next video.